Why humans are obsessed with status. Status has existed long before money, long before governments, long before social media, even before written language. Wherever humans have lived, one thing has always emerged naturally: hierarchy. Someone becomes the leader, someone becomes the follower, someone has influence, someone has none. This isn't unique to modern society. Throughout history, humans have organized themselves into groups where status often shaped access to resources, opportunities, and influence. But here is the question: if everyone says they just want to be happy, why do so many people spend their lives trying to impress other people? Think about how much of modern life revolves around status: the clothes people wear, the cars they drive, the neighborhoods they live in, the careers they choose, the watches on their wrists, the restaurants they post online, even the books they display on their shelves. None of these things are inherently wrong, but they can become symbols, and symbols have power because humans don't only buy products, they often buy identities. A luxury watch doesn't just tell time, it tells a story. A designer bag doesn't just carry belongings, it communicates something about the person carrying it. A sports car isn't only transportation, it can become a statement. The strange thing is that status isn't always about wealth. Someone with very little money can still compete for status. Knowledge becomes status, beauty becomes status, fitness becomes status, popularity becomes status, intelligence becomes status, even, even morality can become status. People don't just compete to be richer, they compete to be seen as better. And that's where status becomes dangerous because because once your self-worth depends on your position compared to other people, peace becomes almost impossible. There will always be someone wealthier, someone more attractive, someone smarter, someone younger, someone more successful. If your happiness depends on being above others, then your happiness is permanently outside your control. This comparison has become even stronger in the digital age. For most of human for most of human history, people compared themselves to a few hundred individuals, their family, their village, their community. Today, a person wakes up and compares themselves to millions: celebrities, entrepreneurs, models, athletes, influencers, people showing only the most exciting moments of their lives. The comparison never ends, and yet people continue to participate. Why? Because status offers something every human craves: recognition, to be seen, to matter, to feel important. Deep down, most people don't actually want expensive things, they want what those things appear to represent: respect, admiration, security, belonging, success. The object itself is often secondary. Imagine two identical houses. One is located in a neighborhood where everyone owns similar homes. For other is located where every surrounding house is much smaller. Object, object, Objectively, the house hasn't changed, but many people's feelings about it would. Not because of the house, because of comparison. Status is rarely measured in isolation. It is measured relative to other people. This creates a cycle that never truly ends. You reach one level, it becomes normal, then you begin chasing the next one: a promotion, a larger home, a more prestigious title, a bigger audience, more influence, more recognition. The finish line keeps moving, not because reality changed, but because perception did. History is filled with people who had immense status and still wanted more: kings who wanted more kingdoms, business leaders who wanted larger empires, celebrities who already had worldwide fame but still feared becoming irrelevant. Status doesn't always satisfy insecurity, sometimes it amplifies it. Because once your identity depends on being admired, every criticism feels threatening. Every competitor becomes a danger, every failure becomes public. Ironically, people with the highest status are often under the greatest pressure to maintain it. The world sees confidence. They may experience constant fear of losing everything. This reveals another side of status that few people discuss. The higher you climb, the more there is to lose. The admiration that once felt exciting can become exhausting. The attention that once felt rewarding can become suffocating. The image that once opened doors can become a prison. Eventually, some people stop asking, "Who am I?" and start asking, "Who do people expect me to be?" At that point, status no longer serves the person serves their status. This doesn't mean ambition is wrong. Wanting success isn't wrong. Building wealth isn't wrong. Seeking excellence isn't wrong. The question is different. Who are you becoming while pursuing those things? Are you building a meaningful life or are you building an image? Because there is a difference. An image exists to impress others. A meaningful life exists whether anyone is watching or not. The most interesting people in history weren't remembered simply because they had status. They were remembered because what they created outlived their reputation. Status fades, beauty fades, titles disappear, money changes hands, public opinion changes. But character has a way of leaving a much longer shadow. Perhaps that's why the pursuit of status is one of the is one of is one of humanity's oldest temptations, not because status itself is evil, but because it quietly convinces us that our value depends on how high we stand above everyone else. And maybe the greatest freedom isn't reaching the top of the hierarchy. Maybe it's reaching a point where your sense of worth no longer depends on one.